Hey, Flemingburg Baptist Church, this is Brother Jason, just coming to you to promote a handful of things for the first part of the year. One of those being the Into the Word Bible reading plan. This is an Old Testament weekday reading plan that covers the Old Testament scriptures Monday through Friday. The weekends, you can either reflect on what you've read that week or catch up if you had gotten a little bit behind. Encourage someone to read the Bible through with you as we go through this reading plan, someone that maybe you can collaborate with or encourage or have as an accountability partner as we read through the Old Testament together. So Into the Word weekday Old Testament reading plan is coming January. In fact, it'll start the first full week of January. I'm also going to launch a sermon series in January on Sunday mornings called Fault Lines. Every one of us, we have all kinds of different things in our past that every now and then trouble us even today. If you take a look at fault lines are faults that occur underneath the surface of the earth in terms of these plates that move. And when they do, they affect things on the surface. Fault lines are traced to the surface level where you can realize or understand that something's happening underneath. And fault lines, when we have an earthquake, we realize that we have been on top of fault lines and we have some issues under the earth. Well, in our Christian walk, we have some fault lines. Every single one of us, we have some things that we've overcome, some things in our past perhaps that still linger. You may have come from a broken home. That's somewhat of a fault line that every now and then, even years later, it shows up in your life as something that hurts or something that brings the past to your attention. Some of you have maybe a failed relationship in the past, some type of work experience that haunts you a little bit, or you've just got some kind of old hurt, something from years ago that's a fault line in your life. Maybe you've got some type of limitation, something that that you're constantly having to work around, or you're having to accommodate in your life because it's something that tries to hold you back, and every now and then it raises its ugly head and you have to deal with it. Those are like fault lines that every now and then, they're below the surface, but every now and then they affect our daily lives. We're going to talk about fault lines in a Sunday morning series when we look at the life of Joseph. And we're going to see that Joseph in the Old Testament had so many things that could be like fault lines in his life, things that could have hindered him from doing the things of God. But we're going to find that Joseph, he rose above his circumstances. And even though he had some things in his past that were difficult and troubling with his family and his personal life, he didn't let that stop him from being what God wanted him to be. So it's a series called Fault Lines. I think it's going to be a great time for us. It's on Sunday mornings beginning in January. In February, we're going to do something that I have done for years. I've always tried to embrace the community in which I serve and how we serve, and try to be a blessing. Well, February is going to be We Love Flemingburg Month. Again, every community I've ever served in, we usually do something like this. But this February, we will call it We Love Flemingburg Month. And throughout that month, we're going to have different opportunities to bless this county, this community, some of our community leaders. And so be listening for opportunities and how you can get involved. Throughout the month of January, I'll be promoting a handful of ways that you can get involved in blessing our community in our We Love Flemingburg emphasis for February. Those are just a handful of things that are coming. I'm prayerful about where we're going in the future. I'm thankful to be your pastor. I'm looking forward to all that God wants us to do here in and through this church with one another and how we can reach this community for Christ. Let's have a great holiday season here. Have a wonderful Christmas. I look forward to all that God is going to do. May you be blessed and be sure and stay engaged with all that we're doing here at Flemingburg Baptist Church. Take care.